Hello, hello. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome to today's live level up conversation. Whether you're tuning in live or catching me on replay, I truly appreciate you being here.
Welcome to Level Up with Winnie Sun. Market update. Speed round. Award-winning financial pro. And now, get ready. I present to you Level Up with Winnie Sun.
It's wonderful to be here with you. I'm Winnie, your host, an award winning financial pro, a Forbes contributor, and a CNBC council member. We're going to jump right in because actually, we're going to jump right into the content, but I also want to take a moment and just say, don't be shy. Jump in. Let me know where you're joining me from. Of course, how your week is going, anything interesting across your keyboard or your screen. I would love to hear. Let's get started and talk about how the market closed today. This is good news. I think if you've been following the financial news today, you're going to be in pleasantly surprised. It is a strong triple update. Finally, the Dow closed up 524 points, the Nasdaq up 287 points, and S&P 500 also up almost 80 points at 79. We'll take it. It was certainly a rosy day today. People were very, very happy. I know traders were pleased, and I think we've heard some from people on social media as well, being very excited about this positive news on the stock market today. Now, some of the news that came out, of course, this benefited from companies such as Facebook's Meta platforms, strong results from them, as well as several other companies. And so some of the other companies that we're hearing from, of course, are Amazon reported today, Alphabet, which is Google, Microsoft, Apple. Some, happy tech news. We'll take it. And that certainly benefited, gave people hope, investors hope, and you saw people be more comfortable jumping back into the financial markets. But of course, people are still we were waiting for news out of big tech, and we were not disappointed. So that's what you're seeing today. Where of course we're seeing a little bit of news from weaker than expected GDP, but it wasn't like crazy bad as didn't impact the financial markets as much. And so we're seeing and hoping that perhaps the Federal Reserve will now soon lighten up on its increasing of interest rates. So still lots of news to come and still lots of earnings to be reported. But today, we can all agree was a very good day on the financial markets. Now let's segue over to a story that, was trending on financial news, and maybe it hit your radar, maybe it didn't. But I thought it just goes to show you that even really smart people running the or that have a play in the US economy, well, even they can make mistakes because Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, believe it or not, got duped, I guess, by some Russian. It was a Russian led prank. They said that they were Zelensky and asking Fed Chairman Jerome Powell some pretty common. They're saying pretty common financial questions about the U.S. economy, about interest rates, about inflation, things like that. And supposedly there were some video clips of the conversation. This was covered in Russian state television, posted online. It's like, I guess, being shared all over social media and the internet. But yeah, so I guess this isn't a new prank. In fact, these pranksters, I guess, have already tricked other global leaders and financial leaders, including the president of the European Central Bank and Germany's former chancellor. So, Fed spokesperson speaking on behalf of Jerome Powell is saying that a lot of the questions they were asked, nothing was sensitive or confidential information. So hopefully that's the case. I mean, this is what we're hearing in the news, but I'm curious to see how you feel about that. As someone here in the United States, I don't love the idea that one of the I mean, such a strong, powerful person in the U.S. economy was duped by other people. They don't like that too much, but I don't know. Curious to see how you feel about that. Want to say a big hello and welcome to Vicky joining us on Facebook Live. Thank you so much, Vicky, for being here. Always appreciate your support. Thank you so much, really, for taking the time. Awesome, awesome. All right, let's jump into another story. Now, this is in the realm of personal finance. And of course, this hit my radar because my good friend Sharon Epperson at CNBC covered it, and I thought she did a great job. But I want to talk about the importance of financial education. So, personal finance in particular. So, there are many states, believe it or not, that already are discussing the importance of guaranteeing a 1 semester personal finance course for all high school students. Now, we've talked about personal finance on the show before. We talked about the need for young people to understand how to manage their money. In fact, research continues to show that students learn best through hands on activities, simulations, and that this works really well in the classroom as well. Now, a lot of talk has been, do you incorporate personal finance embedded into another course like math or social studies, right? Or do you have a standalone class? Well, in fact, there's a lot of states that are saying that now they want to make sure that this has real impact. And the way they do it is they say, we are going to require that students take a personal finance class as a semester class in order to even graduate high school. So this is something some of the states are talking about. And now there are some states that started with this and then decided not to do it. For example, Kentucky is an example of a state where they sort of were committed to financial education, but then they, at the last point, they changed the language from being a course to a program. And I guess when you do that, when you change the title from being a course to a program, then it kind of gives a loophole that says, like, maybe it isn't required for graduation, and maybe it could be a different type of teaching. So certain things aren't required in order for kids to graduate and pass this particular class. So it's really interesting. I mean, I did a little bit of deep diving into this topic and just realized how much there still needs to go for this to be sort of nationwide and consistent in all the different states where kids will need to learn about money. Let's be honest, right? Like, is the topic of personal finance, is needing to learn about money less important than learning about history or math or reading or any of the other important electives or core classes that our students learn? That's really a question I have for you. I love to get your sense of what you think. And then, by the way, I just saw Joshua walk through the door on YouTube Live. Welcome, Joshua. Always a treat to have you here. And thank you so much for all your support on our show as well. CrossX Fire has been incredible with on our journey here. So thank you so much for being here. So let's talk about some of the states, right, that currently have this sort of this initiative of personal finance on the books for high school learning. So Alabama has one already. Florida, like the talk is to have Florida have this in 2027. Georgia, 2025. Iowa has one. Michigan is going to have one in the future. Mississippi, Missouri. Interesting enough, they're trying to propose this in here for the state of California. So we'll see if that comes. I'm all on board for this. This is something I feel very, very excited about. And hopefully you do too, because I do think that, learning about your credit score, learning about how to keep a budget, learning about, how much you should be spending, how much you should be saving. These are super important lessons. I'm hoping that they really push through and that our next generation has this in their school system. So let me ask you this. I thought it'd be fun to do a question of the day. Okay. I think I'm going to start incorporating this into our program, unless you feel otherwise. I feel like there should be a question of the day. I want to hear your take on this, but today's question of the day is this. What do you, those of you who are watching, what do you wish that you had learned about your money or personal finance in high school? What do you think that would have been helpful? Personally, I'll say that I guess I would have loved to learn more about how much goes towards taxes when you get paid, right? And I would have loved like to learn about the importance of investing and how to invest, and that it wasn't just putting money into a savings account or a checking account, but like how do I invest, how to get involved, how do I really make a difference for my future, and learning how to do it properly. I did learn that through college because I took classes in that area, and of course, which led me to my journey in the financial industry. But I think it would have been really, really cool to learn that in the classroom. So, love to see your thoughts on that. Vicky, let me know your thoughts. Joshua, don't be shy. What is it that you wish you had learned about your money in high school? Jump in. And if you're watching me in the replay, feel free to jump in, answer that question, tag me so I'll know what your answer is. Maybe we'll share it. I think we should share it. I think we'll share some answers on an episode next week. So, with that, thank you so much for tuning in. I so appreciate you watching Level Up. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and subscribe. Really appreciate that. And if you can and don't forget, you can catch full episodes of Level Up with Winnie's Son on NASDAQ, Amazon Fire, Samsung, Roku, and many other streaming platforms. And don't forget to check out Yes Factor with Winnie's Son on Apple Podcasts or wherever you tune in, because we're coming into you from the LinkedIn Podcast Network. Thank you again for your support. If you share this show, make sure you tag at Winnie's Son so I can properly thank you as well. We'll see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow we're back with In the Loop with my good friend Greg Nibbler. So we have some really, really fun things to talk about. And of course, we're going to add in a little bit of what to watch for May, which is always a really, really fun show. All right. Thank you so much and take care. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye now.